Just a quick disclaimer before the video starts. I became aware after this script was written that a lot of other content creators have also covered the same topic. I want you guys to know that I didn't watch those videos yet, so if we cover a lot of the same information, I apologize. Nonetheless, if you have already seen those videos, hopefully you can find some brand new information in this script. With that said, let's get into it. Kang the Conqueror is one of the most formidable villains to grace the pages of Marvel Comics. But while the name, Kang the Conqueror, may sound like a single individual, it actually belongs to an infinite number of different variants from different timelines and dimensions of reality in both the Marvel Comics as well as the MCU. Come with us, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, as today we'll be exploring some of the most fascinating variants of Kang from throughout the Marvel Multiverse, and how their stories differ from not only one another, but the Prime Conqueror that we are most likely to see in the near future of the MCU. It is important to note that these are Kang's most popular identities, and while many of them are from different time streams or universes, there are a few on this list that exist on the same timeline. This means that two of these identities might belong to the same Nathaniel Richards, but at two different points in this vast tenure and career as a conqueror. For ease of reference, they will all be referred to as variants. With that addressed and out of the way, let's get into Kang's most interesting identities and explore which are most likely to make an appearance in the multiverse saga. The first variant of Kang is one that we have sort of been introduced to already, and is known as Immortus. In the finale of Loki, we meet He Who Remains, who is named after the Marvel character of the same name, but this is where a lot of the similarities end. But his backstory seems to bear resemblance to that of Immortus, and it's highly likely that the MCU combined both origin stories into a new character. So who was Immortus in the comics? In the comics, he's very similar to He Who Remains of the MCU, being a benevolent variant of Kang, though he is oftentimes regarded as one of the most powerful variants. The Nathaniel Richards of Earth 6311, Immortus, is often the variant of Kang that most often comes into conflict with his more malevolent counterparts. After having grown weary of his conquests, he sought to stop his past selves from inflicting such pain on others, having allied himself with the Avengers on some occasions in order to help undo his many conquests of the past. He is an older, battle-worn variant of Kang that is nearly at the end of his days, and often lacks the same level of ferocity of his younger, more bloodthirsty self, but his experience and strength is not to be underestimated. Another one of the more noble variants of Kang goes by the moniker of Iron Lad, who we've touched on briefly in some of our previous videos. This variant of Nathaniel Richards came to learn of his identity as a time-traveling warlord relatively early on into his life, and sought to avoid this fate at all costs. He pilots a suit of armor reminiscent of the old Stark Industries suits from the 21st century, and uses his incredible intellect and mechanical prowess in the service of good, trying to do the best that he can to avoid becoming the tyrant he is fated to be, even going on to join the Young Avengers. Rama Tut is a variant of Kang from the start of his journey, taking up the identity of an Egyptian pharaoh after first discovering the science of time travel and crash landing in the desert of Egypt. Using the advanced technology and robotics aboard his vessel, he was easily able to conquer Egypt and demand that the people worship him and build monuments in his glory. He ruled for a short time before the Fantastic Four encountered him on their own time-traveling adventures, and forced him to flee. Upon trying to return to the 31st century, Rama Tut accidentally overshot his destination and landed in the 41st century to find an Earth ravaged by war. After studying the vast technology available to him, he began his career as a time-traveling warlord, and Rama Tut is often viewed as the origin story for Prime Kang. Mr. Gryphon is one of the Kang variants that we are most likely to see make his debut in the near future of the MCU. Mr. Gryphon is an alias that Kang uses in the 21st century in order to go undercover as a businessman and philanthropist. The company that Mr. Gryphon runs is called Kang Enterprises, pronounced exactly the same way as his most common alias, but spelled Q-E-N-G. It has been widely theorized that this variant of Kang is a businessman that bought the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man Homecoming, seeing as the tower is present in the void at the end of time and marked with the familiar Kang logo in Loki. If this is the case, then Kang could have already made his entrance into the MCU without anybody having noticed until now. The Scarlet Centurion is a Kang variant from Earth 689, who briefly succeeded in conquering the modern age of heroes by appearing to the Avengers at the dawn of their career as a team. This created a divergent reality, which in the MCU would be akin to a Nexus event, splitting the timeline into a new reality. This variant was able to manipulate the Avengers into being his pawns, convincing them that the growing superhuman population posed a threat to Earth's survival. This led to a reality where the Avengers existed as a militaristic superhero police force that captured and imprisoned any superpowered individuals, leaving themselves as the only enhanced individuals left to protect the Earth. After planning to pit these Avengers against their prime Earth-616 counterparts, his rule soon collapsed, and his hold over Earth-689 crumbled. This variant then escaped the timeline and returned to the Egyptian era, where he resumed his former role as the aforementioned pharaoh Rama-Tut. Lastly, one of the most intriguing variants of Kang is known as Kangaroo the Conqueror. While this variant of Kang has not been explored in the same depth as many of his multiversal counterparts, this variant of Kang often torments Earth-8311, an Earth where our favorite Avengers and superheroes are anthropomorphic animals. This includes Captain America, Mr. Fantastic, and none other than Spider-Ham, who made his live-action debut in 2018's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where he was voiced to perfection by comedian John Mulaney. It is also highly possible that this is the Earth where Alligator Loki is from in the MCU interpretation. Since it has been confirmed that this Earth does exist in live action with the release of Into the Spider-Verse, it's possible that Spider-Ham, Baron Zebro, Dormammu, or Croctor Strange may have a cameo appearance in the future. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of these variants of Kang? Would you like to see more videos like this exploring popular variants of fan-favorite characters? And if so, who would you like to see next? As always, my friends, hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team. Your viewership means the world and helps the channel continue to grow. And as always, I hope you have a great day.